Hey, good morning. Welcome to the Seven Eagle webinar that we got this morning. My name is Jose Rodriguez. I am, first and foremost, retiring from the military after so long, 20 plus years military service, but I'm also a skill bridger. Kind of gives me a unique insight into what we're going to be talking about here in a second. How to land an amazing Skillbridge internship. One thing I want to kind of point out first thing in the morning is you have any questions, comments, go ahead and throw them in the chat. I'll be here to answer them for you as the webinar progresses. So, like I said, my name is Jose Rodriguez. I'm a recruiting manager for the Seven Eagle Group. One of the great things about us, we have a website. We kind of tailor our who we target, military personnel, whether it's your active duty that's retiring, separating, maybe you've served a couple years and you decide to get out, you're a veteran now, or dependents. We try to get everybody position, a job, something to kind of give back to what you served, your service. Check us out on 7eaglegroup.com. Our mission is to help our veterans and serve members launch rewarding careers. We have over 40 managers nationwide. We've helped over 1,000 folks connect in 8 years. Kind of things that we focus on right now is cybersecurity and IT. However, that's not solely what we look into. We go anything from your medical all the way to aerospace and then beyond. So when we talk about SkillBridge is one of those secret unicorn things that you hear some of the folks every once in a while talk about. Well, maybe I'm thinking about doing SkillBridge, or during a commander's call, the commander talks about benefits when you're separating. It's a program designed to kind of bridge that gap from where you serve your time and then giving you skills and opportunities in the civilian realm. SkillBridge is designed to give you at least 180 days of service, program service before your ETS. It's a full-time internship to get you that great experience. You don't have to report to your military unit. That's one of the things that a lot of folks kind of have a question about is, well, do I have to do my job, my active duty job, Guard Reserve? Well, no, you are assigned to a company, you report directly to them, but you still get all your benefits, you still get all your pay for however long you were approved for that program. And then the goal for Seven Eagle and the goal for a lot of our employees when we place you is for you to convert into a W-2 employee. So you go from an intern, not paid because you are getting paid by the military, to transition right into a full-time employee for that company. We try to promote you to multiple different hiring companies. And like I said before, if you're a veteran, it doesn't matter. If you served 10 years ago, you're still part of the family. You still deserve to get some help if you're struggling a little bit, or maybe you just want to change. Let us know. We're the eyes and ears for career opportunity. But the nice thing about the program that we have is you're in full control. You tell us what you like, what you don't like. We promote you. So what we like to do at Seven Eagles, we like to do a little snippet, a little intro video of our folks, our candidates. And our clients can come over and they can look at you, they can see who you are, and then maybe generate that interest in you. It's a 7-second intro video, highlights your career, resumes, dates. Here's the thing about us in the military is we don't like to talk about ourselves. A lot of us are, not saying that we're shy. It's just like, did we serve? Yes. Okay. But this is that time where you want to highlight the things that you've accomplished in your military career and then aspirations there afterwards. It's private, password protected page, and nobody has access to it but us and the clients. Why should you consider a SkillBridge internship? Well, it gives you that valuable civilian work experience. If you're like me, you served 20 plus years in the military. I joined when I was 18 years old, and that's all I've known. So transitioning into that civilian world was a little scary, a little intimidating. But this gives you that experience, so that way the transition is almost seamless. It leverages you to become a W-2 employee, and then it's an easy transition from your post-career, your military career. It focuses on learning with no military obligation. Like I said, you're there to learn a new task, a new job, and ease that transition into something different. That second part of your life. There's no obligations to accept any offers. So if you're with a company, and let's say you like their training program, but you're just not vibing with them, you don't have to continue with them as a W-2 employee, but you do garner that most important part, which is the experience. Right now, the 7 Eagle Group bolsters a 90% success rate for W-2 positions, meaning 90% of the folks that we help in SkillBridge and thereafter, we get them to place as a full-time employee. Only SkillBridgers has these opportunities aligned with salary, location, industry goals. You can test drive a potential future employee without risk, kind of like maybe when you joined the military, you didn't have a choice. So there wasn't an option for whatever your reason was. And then the recruiter said, hey, these are the jobs you have. You get your job and you're like, what is this? I got to do this for 4, 6, 10, 20 years. Maybe you didn't like it. Well, in this part, becoming that intern, you can test drive it. You sit there, you do the job, you like it, great, you continue. You don't like it, we can help facilitate a different move, a lateral move into something that'll be much more advantageous for you. Why do companies love SkillBridge interns? Well, it saves them $15,000 to $30,000 in that first year. There's no obligation to convert the SkillBridgers into W-2 employees, but I'm gonna tell you right now, a lot of our clients, they want that military training. Think about all the things that you've been through in your military career. You have these 17, 18, 19-year-olds that are in charge of multi-million-dollar airplanes that go out on these missions, that are certified on all these things, that are brought up in leadership roles. That skill set is not something very common in the civilian realm. So it gives you that opportunity, that leg up. So even though they don't have a commitment, just like you don't have a commitment to them, they don't have a commitment to you, they want that from you. And the goal is, again, to convert you to that W-2 employee. Acts as new and highlighted, highly experienced talent. It's a patriotic act for our local heroes. You is specifically who we're talking about. But it's not all about, okay, which company I'm going to go with. It's where do you want to go? What path do you want to choose? You got to determine the best career path for you. You deserve a high-paying salary and job satisfaction. Have a passion that makes a difference. Something, because you ever heard that old saying, well, if you like what you do, it's not really a job. That's kind of what we're focusing on here. We want to put you in something that you're going to enjoy, that you see yourself in the future. Unsure what you want to do, though, you gotta make yourself informed. And how do you do that? With those interviews. You got to be confident. You are a valuable asset. But a lot of times we, in the military, we don't articulate that very well. So therefore, that confidence, that knowing that what you want to do and what career path you want to go comes a long way. It's okay to pivot from the jobs that you had in the military. I myself was a tactical aircraft maintenance mechanic, just a really fancy way of saying that I worked on fighter airplanes. But now I'm a recruiter, giving back to my military brothers and sisters. So is it the exact same thing I did in the military? Absolutely not. It was a pivot from one side to the other. Maybe that's something that you want to do. Maybe you were that security forces member and you did it for a couple of years. That's not the path you want to go anymore, but you want to jump into cyber. Well, that's okay. We can set you up with companies that want to hire you that want to have you as an intern and then subsequently hire you. But you got to kind of weigh your expectations on that. You might get less salary than what you want. I mean, let's be real. If you're making that pivot, the salary is going to be kind of at a lower scale because you're barely starting. But if you're able to work with that, if you're able to understand that you might not get the original salary that you want, there's room for growth, especially in the cyber and IT community. You got to search all around your areas if you want to stay within your local area. See what the salary is for an intern, or not an intern, but a first year, second, third year job placement. The first job is always the hardest. You can advance once you're in, but the goal is to get you in. And then you got to keep your options open. If you're like me, you PCS'd 7, 8, 9 times in your military career, and maybe you're done. Maybe you are sitting there and tell your family, I'm never going to move again. This is it. This is where we're going to be. That's great. We're going to work with those folks. So if Miami's where you want to be, we're going to try to find you in Miami a position. But if you are open to relocating, this will give you a vast opportunity out within the United States, and it would better help placing you into something that you would like. One of those pitfalls, though, so you want to do SkillBridge, you want to try something different, but then you kind of drag your feet. You're your own personal advocate. If you don't do it for yourself, nobody's going to do it for you. And one of those things that we like to do, we in the military like to procrastinate quite a bit. And you get that late start, kind of falls into those pitfalls. We want to tell our folks to at least have a 90-day commitment within that SkillBridge. That way it gives you a good 3 months of, do I like this? Is this something that I would like to do? Easiest thing you can do is join our network. Apply to jobs above your skill set. So be real with yourself. Unless you're starting your own business, you're not going to be a vice president of a company, a CEO. You gotta have that hard conversation with you. Maybe talk to your significant other. What are you looking for, and then where do you need to be to make it work for you? Requiring those inflated salaries. If you're making that pivot, especially into something different, you're not going to get a high salary compared to somebody who's been doing the job for 10, 15 years. You're going to be making subsequently a little bit less than that, but that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that making that pivot. Lacking of marketable skills. If you know you want to be certified or work in IT or cybersecurity, and I'm using those as an example, do your research, see what these companies are looking for certifications, and you can already start preparing yourself by getting those certifications on your own. Not helping your commanding officer. And how do you do this? Well, not giving them a heads up. The biggest thing that we like to emphasize with our SkillBridge candidates is to, as they fill out the network paperwork and we reach out to them, one of the first questions we ask is, hey, have you worked with your chain of command? Have you spoken with your supervisors? Do they know what you're trying to do and how long you're trying to do it? Again, that goes back to folks starting late, dragging their feet. Don't do that. You are your biggest advocate. And I will say that every day, all day. There is nobody that's going to help you better than you. Ask the questions, but you need to talk to your chain of command. And then knock out those video intros. But here's the thing with those video intros. You got to have that energy. You got to have that smile. You got to sell yourself, because that's exactly what you're trying to do. You want these companies that click on you to see something inside you, a reason to want to interview you. If you sit there lackluster, dragging, so on and so forth, it's not going to draw a lot of attention. Resumes. I never had written a resume until I was getting ready to get out. writing for the military and writing in the civilian world, totally different. You got to change your vocabulary. You have to, there's a lot of things that go into resumes. And the biggest thing that I can tell you is prepare it, write it, and then use some of those free services that are available for us as veterans, retirees, and even dependents. But you got to have a good resume. And in 7 Eagle, we can also help you with that as well. Weak interviewing skills. A lot of us have never had an interview unless you did maybe a special duty or during a promotions board. But for the majority, we don't know how to interview. We didn't know how to interview. Well, the best way you can do is look at those YouTube videos, talk to folks that are out, acquire a mentor in the civilian realm so that way we can better polish those interviewing skills for you. One of the nice things that we see right now in social media is that networking. Well, how do we network when we're trying to find a career, a new path, if you will? Well, that's through LinkedIn. LinkedIn is one of the most highly used services, social media services that are out there. And if yours is like, you haven't touched it in 17 years and it's just your name, I mean, it's not going to gather any traffic. So you want to update that. You want to show people what you're doing. You want to make sure you post it, like, connect with other folks to get your name out there within the social media network. And then, as we talked about before, having less than 90 days as an intern. 90 days is that kind of like prime number. Not saying that we won't take anybody with less than 90 days. There are people with different circumstances. Maybe your command can only let you do 60 days. We will work with anything, but we highly recommend at least 90. And then applying for jobs prematurely. If you still have a lot of things going on, maybe you don't have the skill sets, a lot of folks will just kind of shotgun job applications and then not realize that there's much more that goes into it. So it's discouraging when you get rejected, should you get rejected. So let us help you. Let us build you up. Let us place you in an internship so that we can avoid some of these detrimental pitfalls. Some of the popular questions that we have asked of us. Does the 7 Eagle Group guarantee me SkillBridge internship? No, absolutely not. It's entirely between you and the outside companies who will evaluate you. But what the 7 Eagle Group will do is give you different options. So we are really big on getting your input and using your input to placing you where you want to be. Is there any cost to me? No, absolutely not. It's a free service to you. The hiring companies pay all the fees if you're hired. We'll never, ever, ever let a fee prevent us from landing you a position. So sometimes there are some occasions where you and the company, you align. But maybe they're a smaller company and they can't afford the fee. Okay, we will negotiate on that part. Or we will just eat, for lack of a better word, that fee. We will place you at a minimal fee with them so that we know that you land that position, because ultimately you landing that position is what we care about. Can I determine which company I intern for? Yeah, absolutely. You have full control. You must first get hired though. But how do you do that? Contacting those folks, letting them know what you intend to do, and then apply to a whole variety of other people. Don't just put all your eggs in one basket. We will present opportunities to you once you're hired with these companies or they express interest in you. Is 7 Eagle Group my hiring company? No, we're kind of the middleman. So we recruit, meaning we take you and we place you with somebody who needs you. When will you send me a training plan or an offer letter? Well, that comes as soon as you get hired by the company. And we say hire, but as soon as you get accepted by the companies that would like you as a SkillBridge intern. Can I work remotely from home? Yeah, absolutely. It depends, though. It depends on the company that you're going with. There's three methods right now that they are looking for. It's going to be either remote, meaning you work from home. It's a hybrid. It's at home sometimes, and then in the office, or there's full in office hires. So it just depends in person. It just depends on them and what you choose to do. The more flexible you are, the more opportunities you will have, though. I've identified a company on my own and that wants to hire me. Can I work there? Well, it kind of just depends. Let us know what they are. Let us work with them. Let us do all that all that work that work through that process with them, so that to better understand if placing you with them is a possibility. How can I increase my chances? Well, enrolling in our SkillBridge Talent Network today. It's easy. It'll take you 7 minutes, 10 minutes to do on our 7 Eagle website. Get your CO, your commanding officer, a verbal, yeah, I'm going to support you in this. Improve your marketable skills. Again, going back to doing your research, trying to get those certifications, those classes that you need for that specific job that you want. Can I explore more opportunities on my own or talk to other recruiters? Yeah, absolutely. There's no contract with us. We're here to help you. As I said, my name is Jose Rodriguez. I'm recruiting manager for the 7 Eagle Group. I would love to hear from you. If you go to our website, you go to the leadership page, you'll see all the recruiters that are on there. You can click on whoever you like, set up a 30-minute initial phone call if you want more information. Definitely hit the comments. I will be on there here shortly, answering any questions that you have, or you can reach out to any one of us. Thank you for your time. I hope you have a great weekend, and we'll see you soon.